Malt liquor. So I got this vague thing in my head. So I'm gonna ramble, but so I gotta say something malt liquor like entertaining first, and then you can stop watching the video. Then I'm just gonna ramble. But first off, the best drink to be drank. Oh, Jay Vega. I was like saying, Jay Vega let me down. And that's why I lost focus and went down the craft path, because I was unsupervised. It fucking makes me laugh every time I say that. Malt liquor. Then Vega's like, left a pronouncement on my video, like, I'm going to make a video and explain why I continued making videos after I reached my whatever that big number was of how many videos he was going to make, and then he was going to stop. And then he made that, so I will go watch the video. He put it up that night, and his reason, Jay Vega, your reason was, some people asked me to stay. What the fuck? What the fuck? That's some... Your reason to stay was some people asked you, or some bullshit. Fuck Vega. I'm asking you, and I assure you some other people are going to be asking you now to start reviewing Asian hoodies. You gotta do it now, because you've been asked by some people. Fucking malt liquor. Oh. Some people asked me to drink craft beer and become a cunt. Well, what else was I gonna do? Just thank God no one told me to do the Snuggie thing, or I would be wrapping myself in a Snuggie right now, dousing that Snuggie in gasoline, catching myself on fire, before I had handed my friend a camera, and then I'd jump off a bridge, flaming Snuggie, filmed, uploaded to YouTube. But no one asked me to do that. They just called me fucking Earl Dorfland, which is more painful. Because that lasts much longer than the whole plummet into the water thing. Anyway, alright. Entertainment part of the video is over with. Stop watching Dirt Nap. Does Dirt Nap still make videos? I haven't seen him in my feed in forever. And I can't be bothered to type in his name in the search. I'll just have to find out. Someone will have to tell me. The answer might be no. Rugby. Alright. The thing that's been going around in my head is, just because you're used to something, just because something's the way of things, just because something's expected, or just because you thought things were going to go a certain way, it absolutely does not mean you have to do any of that ever. You could even actually stop for a moment, put things on pause, and just say, hey, I know I was doing that thing or whatever, but I'm not going to be doing that for a bit. How long's a bit? I don't know. It's on hold. I'm putting that behavior, that action, what I was going to do, where things were going, how things were developing, it's on hold. So many people just go rushing forward. Like, to use a trail analogy, we were going down a trail, and there was where there was a waterfall. It was wintertime. There was a waterfall that we used to go across the trail, but it was wintertime, and ice had formed across that trail. And it was really difficult to get people to stop walking and look at that trail for a bit. They're like, well, let's get up there and see if it's slippery. And I'm like, we have a good viewpoint of the whole, it does a bend. We're looking at it right now. Let's just look at that for a moment. And people got a little bent out of shape. Some people started walking ahead, and you know what? I didn't even know I didn't even know what I was looking for. But there was up at the cliffs where the waterfall comes over, there was massive icicles. And as we were standing there, it was mid-afternoon, things were heating up. these icicles would break off and come down and smash. You know, maybe that was it. I saw chunks, gigantic ice cubes all over the trail. And I'm like, where did those come from? They came from about 40 feet above the trail. But this could be a lot, I don't want to be specific, but this could be with a lot of things in life. And also by putting things on hold might mean that you avoid certain things, but it also might mean you scale back to the very basic. I'll give you an example. I'm trying to figure out how not to say exactly what I'm saying. One of my friends is having trouble with their family members, and because of situations, they can't just avoid them. And I'm like, just figure out who you are, like the minimum of who you are when you're there, and do that. And the idea was like, you're polite, you're attentive, and you're there briefly, and then you have to go. Which is actually, I don't even call that the minimum. I call that like quite nice. Polite and attentive to your family. They're causing problems, you're polite and attentive. You're doing all that you need to do, and you're not doing more. The desire to do more you've put on hold. The desire to fix their problems. And I get that. Despite some indications of that this is not true, I feel I feel that I really would like to help people solve their problems. But at my age, 47, I've seen a lot of that. I've seen a lot of me trying to solve other people's problems. I've seen a lot of other people trying to do it. And I really can't think of any excellent examples of that working out. I could think of some terrible examples of this. I hate the enabling thing, but I've seen some train wrecks wobble on the rails for years only because that train had support to stay on the rails. And it seemed to me that when the wreck finally came, the damage was greater because it wasn't just that person bringing themselves through the inevitable crash. But they had worn out and damaged everybody in their life as well. And who's to say that actually putting on hold, who's to say that stepping back, well, I'm going to let you deal with that, let me know if you need anything. And you've got in your mind, you've got like a pretty strict set of what you're willing to do. Who's to say that like suddenly they find themselves without support? It's like being on a tightrope and someone takes away, like this is the balance bar or whatever that is, whatever they call that. You're like, oh, you're not going to have this from me. You're not going to have that to help you balance. Who's to say that they might think like, well, I'm backing back up to the platform. I'm not going to risk the tightrope if I don't have the things around me that help me balance. Like, things that the reason why I don't go out on tightropes is because I know what kind of balance I've got. I don't push it. I don't try to attain things that I probably shouldn't or would be bad for me because, well, I've got a support system that'll help me make it maybe 3/4 of the way there. Maybe I'll get lucky. Some people just don't know when to quit, I can tell you that for certain. I mean, that was like one of the things. I don't know if I've ever mentioned the name of the job that I walked off. I think I might have. I'm not going to do it now. I walked off a job once. They actually, not only did they give me a bonus, but they called me twice asking me to come back. It was bad. It was a bad situation. And I could have given them 2 weeks and whatnot, but it would have been a miserable 2 weeks, wouldn't have changed shit. And they're offering me to come back under different kinds of circumstances and conditions and more money. Like, I hate to be crude, but that's kind of like, we're going to lube the dildo now. Like, oh, well, fuck, that makes all the difference. Let me grab my ankles. I don't normally talk like that, but that's exactly what I thought when they're like, we'll pay you more money. You'll pay me more money to screw me? Thanks. That'll make it feel better. Malt liquor. All right, then lastly, I had a friend. This is after everyone's gone. No one's watching this video now. I had a friend that had this boyfriend that was a goddamn nightmare. He was injured at work, claimed full disability. It was not true. Got access to all these fucking pills, and popped pills and drank alcohol and got on the Xbox with a little microphone on it, and that's what he did every day, all day. Ragingly drunk and wasted on pills. And the entire time, he and his girlfriend both knew he wasn't that hurt. And now he's like a pill-popping drunk, screaming at 13-year-olds while they play Halo. And he's like, oh, but we've been through so much together. I'm like, it's not over. Why don't you just go get your own place for a little bit? Your friend, said that you could stay didn't your friend say you could stay in their spare bedroom for a bit and get your stuff together? She's like, yeah. I'm like, just do it for a couple weeks. Take 2 weeks. Take 1 week. Take 1 week. It's like a vacation. Your boyfriend will enjoy it. Go spend 1 week over at your friend's house. And she did it. You know what? Like getting out of that situation for 1 week, she could not dream of going back. It was unthinkable for her when she was with that guy to even like take a moment away from him. She got away from him for 7 days. That was it. Put shit on pause. Clear your head. And shit will come together for you. Malt liquor. That whole video actually could have been summed up in that last couple seconds. Like I said, I wasn't sure what I was going to say. Reviewing Asian hoodies or some bullshit. I don't know, I got an Asian hoodie and I thought it sucked, so I reviewed it.